Just hit a button, Morty. Give me a beat.
Oh man, okay.
What's up, Barry Bears? This is your favorite coach that does the most. Coach Gibbs, what? And today I'm going to show you how to calculate simple interest. Before I show you how to calculate simple interest, let me show you the formula. I equals PRT. The I in this formula represents the interest. Interest is the money paid for the use of other people's money. The P stands for principal, the amount of money that you borrow. R represents the rate, and that's usually shown as a percentage. And T stands for time, and that's expressed in years. Always expressed in years. Go get a calculator, because there's a lot of multiplication, and a calculator will help you out tremendously. Interest is money paid for the use of someone else's money. What does that even mean? Well, to help explain it, let me give you an example. Here's Chris. Chris needs to borrow $100. So he asks his sister, Meg. And she agrees to give him money, but he has to pay her back 25% interest, and he has to pay her back within a year. Chris agrees, and they have a deal. Let's figure out how much money Chris is going to pay Meg back after he borrows the money. We use the formula I equals PRT. Remember, interest is the money paid for the use of money. So what we're trying to figure out is how much extra is he going to have to give Meg back. We know he has to give her the $100, but we have to figure out how much money in interest he has to give her as well. The way we calculate that is to identify the principal, and that's the amount borrowed. Well, he's borrowing $100, so that's his principal. The rate that they agreed to was 25%, and the time was within 1 year, so 1. We take these numbers and we multiply them to figure out how much extra Chris has to pay when he gives Meg the money back. Well, we can't multiply $100 times 25%. We have to take that percentage and change it to a decimal in order for you to be able to multiply it. And then, of course, the time is just 1. So then we multiply. 100 times 0.25 times 1. And this will tell you how much money Chris is going to pay Meg in interest. And when you multiply that, you get $25. So when it's time for Chris to pay Meg back, even though he borrowed $100, he has to pay her back $125 because she charged him interest. To calculate interest, we multiply principal times rate times time. How much would it cost to borrow $1,000 from the bank at 10% interest for 2 years? We're trying to figure out how much interest we're going to pay back. So we use our formula, I equals PRT. For the principal, we're borrowing $1,000. So that's the P. The rate, 10%. The time, 2 years. Remember, we can't multiply percentages, so we have to turn 10% into a decimal. So 1,000 times 0.10 times 2. $200. So the interest amount that you would pay for borrowing $1,000 is $200. Alex borrows $2,500 for 3 years at 25%. How much interest will he pay? So the bank's going to give him $2,500, and they're going to give him 3 years to pay it back. We have to figure out how much he has to pay in interest. So the principal, rate, and time. Principal is the amount that he's borrowing, so $2,500. The rate expressed as a percent will be 25%. And then how long will they give him to pay it back? 3 years. Now we have to convert the percentage to a decimal, so we turn 25% to 0.25. And now you multiply. So the cost for borrowing money will be $1,000 $875. That's how much Alex will pay in interest. All right, here's one more example. Alex borrows $5,000 for 7 years at 6%. How much will he pay in interest? Pull out your calculator and you do the work. Hopefully, you typed in 5,000 times 0.06 times 7 and you got $2,100. All right, that's how you calculate simple interest, principal times rate times time. If you have any questions, send an email to your teacher, leave a comment in Google Classroom, or you could just Google it or watch YouTube videos over how to calculate simple interest. And until next time, holla!